You know, some leaders win trophies, and then there are the leaders who change the entire culture of a sport for their country. Today, we're diving into the story of a captain who did exactly that, Sourav Ganguly, the man who put the fight back into Indian cricket. I mean, think about that for a second. When one of your country's all-time greatest football legends says a cricketer is the only reason he loves the sport, you know you're talking about someone whose impact was just massive, way beyond the boundary rope. That was the kind of power Sourav Ganguly had. So, to really understand the fighter he became, you've got to go back to the beginning. And his story, well, it doesn't start on some dusty village pitch. It starts in a life of serious privilege. Ganguly wasn't just from a well-off family, he was born into one of the wealthiest in all of Calcutta. His childhood was so luxurious, he had his own indoor gym and a professional-grade cricket pitch built right there at his house. And get this, it shows you his dedication early on. He's naturally right-handed, but he taught himself to bat left-handed just so he could use his older brother's cricket gear. With that kind of background, it's no surprise he got a nickname to match, Maharaja, which means the Great King. It fit his princely upbringing perfectly. But the name that would really define him, the one that stuck, came later, Dada, which means elder brother. Now that's a title of respect, when you earn, not when you're born with. And it kind of shows you the incredible journey he was about to go on. That Maharaj attitude, though, it definitely caused some friction early on. The talent was off the charts, but there were these stories, like him allegedly refusing to carry drinks for teammates because he felt it was beneath him. That created this perception of arrogance that pretty much followed him around for years. But here's the thing, you can't keep that kind of talent down forever. After a really rough first international match way back in 1992, he got dropped. It took him 4 long years of just crushing it in domestic cricket to get a second chance, and boy, was he going to grab it with both hands. So in 1996, Ganguly gets his test debut at Lord's, the home of cricket. And what does he do? He goes out there and scores 131 runs. To this day, that is still the highest score by any debutant at that legendary ground. He had arrived, and he made sure everyone knew it. And just in case anyone thought it was a fluke, a one-off, nope. In his very next match, he did it again, scored 136. He became only the 3rd batsman in the entire history of cricket to score centuries in his first 2 test matches. The talent was just undeniable. But right as his star was rising, Indian cricket just hit rock bottom hard. In the year 2000, this huge match-fixing scandal exploded, and some of the team's biggest heroes were caught up in it. The entire nation's faith in its favorite sport was completely shattered. In the middle of all this chaos, the legend himself, Sachin Tendulkar, steps down as captain. The board was desperate. They needed someone to take over a team that was just in absolute turmoil. So they turned to his vice-captain, Sourav Ganguly. And his mission? It wasn't just about winning games anymore. It was about saving the soul of Indian cricket. And this, right here, is where the legend of Dada truly begins. He didn't just lead a team, he built a brand new one in his own image, aggressive, defiant, and totally unafraid. This comparison just says it all. Before Ganguly, India was talented, sure, brilliant at home. But overseas, they were often seen as, well, a bit meek. They'd fold under pressure. He flipped that script completely. He made them believe they could win anywhere, against anyone. He famously said his team wouldn't take any crap from any opposition. And if you need one single image to sum up that whole new spirit, this is it. It's 2002, after this unbelievable nail-biting win against England at Lord's, of all places. Ganguly takes off his jersey and just starts twirling it over his head on that famous balcony. It was raw, it was passionate, and it was a symbol for a new, aggressive Indian team that was done being the polite underdog. But you know how it is. That same fire that fueled his success, it was also going to lead to his most dramatic downfall. A huge clash was coming, and it would push Ganguly right out of the very team he had rebuilt from the ground up. And it all came to a head with the coach, Greg Chappell. In 2005, a private email from Chappell to the cricket board gets leaked to the media. Can you imagine? In it, he basically says Ganguly was physically and mentally unfit to be a leader. The whole thing was just a massive public mess. The fallout was swift and it was brutal. Within a month of that email leak, he wasn't just stripped of the captaincy, he was dropped from the team entirely, just gone. For almost a year, the man who rebuilt Indian cricket was on the outside looking in. Most people thought his career was over, but not Ganguly. He fought his way back, first into the Test team in late 2006, and then back into the ODI squad. And what a comeback it was. I mean, his return wasn't just symbolic. Look at these numbers from 2007. He scored over 1,100 Test runs at a ridiculous average of over 61. He became the second highest run scorer in Test cricket that year. He didn't just come back, he came back as one of the best batsmen on the planet and proved every single critic wrong. So after he retired for good in 2008, his real place in history became crystal clear. It was never just about the runs he scored or the matches he won. It was about the foundation he laid for the future. Yeah, statistically, his record is fantastic. He led India in 49 tests, won 21 of them. That puts him right up there with the nation's best captains. But honestly, if you only measure his impact in numbers, you are completely missing the point. His real legacy goes so much deeper than any scorecard. He changed the team's whole identity. He's the guy who backed a whole generation of future legends, Yuvraj Singh, Harbhajan Singh, Zaheer Khan, when they were just kids nobody had heard of. And that final tribute, it's just perfect. When Ganguly played his last ever Test match, the new captain, MS Dhoni, asked him to lead the team on the field for the last few moments. That just shows you the ultimate respect he had earned. And his service to Indian cricket didn't stop there. He went from captain to administrator, eventually becoming the president of the BCCI, which is the governing body for all of cricket in India. He just kept on shaping the sport that he had so totally transformed as a player. So that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? Other captains may have won more trophies, sure. But when it comes to transforming the very DNA of a team, of restoring a whole nation's pride in the sport, was Sourav Ganguly India's most important captain? That's something to think about.